Hey girl, welcome back to the podcast. Today we're going to talk about words. Yes, that's right. Your words have power. What are you speaking about yourself? What are you saying? Words, they have so much power, and how you speak to yourself truly matters. I also have some great affirmations I'm going to share with you today, and I'm going to talk with you all about how you can apply these in your own life. Grab a pen and paper because today we're going to talk about our words and how you can change them now so that you have a future free from control around food and your body. Because, friend, the future is never certain, but what is certain is words have power of life or death. Let's get to it. Hey girl, welcome to the Her Best Self podcast. I'm Lindsay Nickel, former competitive figure skater and perfectionist, turned God-led imperfect boy mom and digital CEO. If you find yourself constantly thinking about food and wondering if you'll wake up one day free from the obsessive thoughts and behaviors controlling your life, then I've created this podcast for you because I know exactly what it's like to be a downright hot mess trapped in a destructive cycle of disordered eating. I finally found freedom, and you can too, girlfriend. So if you're ready to heal your relationship with food and body and break the chains of control and show up in your best health, then grab your favorite Tarjay journal and let's get to it so you can start living your best life as your best self. If you're like most women, you've heard that the power of words can be critical when it comes to how we view ourselves, our bodies, our lives, our relationships. And this is all great, right? In theory, super high level thoughts, right? Yes, I need to do my morning affirmations. I need to think more positively. Maybe then I can change some behaviors in my life. But I want you guys to know that I created this podcast because I fully believe in how the power of our words and, of course, the power of our thoughts and beliefs lead to our identity, which is the number one reason why women are stuck, why you're stuck in disordered eating. And maybe you don't even realize yet that you have disordered eating. Go back to the second episode that I did on the differences between disordered eating and an eating disorder. The reason why I started my business, this podcast, and focusing on helping you change the way you're viewing your life, your body, what you're eating, and what you're not eating, and focusing on your identity is because everything that we do in our lives, it matters. And why does it matter? Because we're creating our life just from our beliefs, our behaviors, our identity. And do you know that when we value those false beliefs, behaviors, and they create a false sense of identity, we are putting power into that false state just from our words. Our words are feeding that, okay? And in order to change your life, you're going to have to change the way that you do things. You're going to have to change the words that you speak. Today, I want to inspire you. I want to bring you goodness. I want to empower you. I want to drive you to truly change the words that you are speaking over your life. I know that this principle is hard, guys, and I'll be the first to raise my hand and be completely transparent with you and say that there's times where words will come out of my mouth and I'm like, how did that even happen? Right? Like, I know that I need to speak kinder, and I know that I need to think kinder about myself and others that are in my life. But what we are not understanding is that we are literally giving our power away when we speak negative words over our life. I'm going to give you a couple of ways that you can apply and change the words that you speak, but I also want to share with you just how the words of our mouth can impact our life. So don't just take my word for it, friends. I believe fully in my faith, and I have shared with you all how God truly changed my eating disorder and the trajectory of my recovery in my life. So in my podcast, you're going to hear me talk about that and talk about my faith. And today I wanted to bring in what the Bible says about your words. Okay, so a couple scriptures for you, and I'll also be sharing a couple at the end just to share the power of our positive words and what the Bible says about that as well. So take these and sit on these, okay? Proverbs 18:21. The tongue has the power of life and death, and those who love it will eat its fruit. Proverbs 21:23. Watch your tongue and keep your mouth shut, and you will stay out of trouble. Proverbs 16:24. Gracious words are a honeycomb, sweet to the soul and healing to the bone. Proverbs 12:18. The words of the reckless pierce like swords, but the tongue of the wise brings healing. Our words literally have the power to heal ourselves, or they have the power of death. Words can condemn or they can justify. And I want you guys to really think about what words you use. What words do you go to? Pay attention to your words. Are you constantly saying to yourself, gosh, I need to lose weight. I cannot gain any more weight. I need to this. I can't do this. It's impossible for me to ever get out of these behaviors. I'm not good enough. I'm not small enough. I always will have an eating disorder. I never will be able to find peace with my body, with my future, with my food. I can't have carbs. I can't go out with my friends. I'm never going to be able to get out of this nightmare. Do those words sound like you will ever be able to get out of the nightmare? What we build ourselves up or tear ourselves down with is our words. So saying those things like you're never going to be able to do this and you can't gain any more weight and I need, and all of those types of words have the power, truly have the power to change and influence your current situation. Okay, so this is not to condemn. This is not to make anyone feel shameful or guilty. Believe me, I am the first one over here raising my hand when I tell you I have said all these things times 100. The words I used to speak to myself when I stared at myself in the mirror every morning getting dressed were words that I don't even want to share. I mean, if words could cut, those were those words. So the first thing I want you to do is pay attention to your words. And as you go about your day, I really want you to look for those words that are negative. I want you, if you've been speaking badly about yourself, I want you to grab a notebook and pen, and each time you find yourself going down the badly speaking rabbit hole, I want you to write down on the piece of paper what you're speaking. And then we're going to apply this. We're going to alter it. We're going to change it. Whenever you use the absolute words like always and never, you're right. You're always going to be this way and you're never going to change when you use absolute words. How about sometimes or seldom? Or how about instead of I should have done this today, I shouldn't have had that whatever XYZ food that you're feeling guilty about? How about I could have done this, but my body really wanted this. And I can be kind and compassionate to myself. That doesn't make me bad. That doesn't make me unworthy. Our words have so much power. And as I was prepping to talk with you all today about this topic that's so passionate in my life, I thought about my kids and how you have that saying where it's like sticks and stones can break our bones, but words will never hurt me, right? And we've learned that as kids. But I want you to challenge that. Sticks and stones can break bones, but words can definitely hurt. Words break spirits. Words change who you are, your identity. And words have actually so much influence and power over your life. Have you ever wondered like what you're speaking happens? Have you ever actually seen that happen in your life? Like you sit down and you say something and then like 2 weeks later that exact same thing occurred because you literally gave it power. I want to talk to you all about something that is insane that I came across, and it truly has changed my life and the way that I think about my words. So there is this woman, Danielle Laporte, and I hope I'm reading that right, but she talks all about how words can make you sick, they can heal you. And she thought it would be really cool to do this experiment with her son, just as like a mom son thing. And they had an idea of cutting an apple in half, and each half of the apple sat in its own sealed jar. Okay. They put the jar on the windowsill and they did this like apple challenge, all right, of positivity and negativity. And one of the half of the apples was the good apple. And then the other was the bad apple. And for 20, 25 days, every single day, they would pass the kitchen and the windowsill on the kitchen. They would speak to the apples. They'd walk by. They would say, "You're so awesome. You're a winner. You're perfect. You are wonderful. You are loved." They would speak positive things to the positive apple. And then when they walked by the bad apple, I'm using quotes, you guys can't see me, they would speak negative things. "You're super sick. You're no good. You're ugly. You're not good enough. You're not worth my attention. You are useless. You're rotten." And then later on, after the 20 to 25 days roughly, they looked at both of the different apples. I wish I could show you guys like a visual of this, but the good apple stayed healthy and the bad apple was rotten. Words have power. Words bless, words protect, they heal, they empower, they infuse into your spirit, into your identity. What are you doing with your words? Are you giving powerful, positive messages to yourself? Are you speaking kindly? Are you showing compassion for your body? How do you expect to find freedom from the struggle that you have with food, from the struggle of all of these things, never feeling good enough and always feeling obsessed and always feeling like life is so hard because you're in a constant cycle of up and down with your thoughts and your body and your food and all these things just being controlled in your mind? And how do you expect to heal yourself and find that freedom if your words contradict positive behaviors? So I really want you guys to sit and think about how you can be true to yourself this week through your words. How can you apply this? It's going to take some time, right? If you've been speaking badly about yourself for so long, and if you live with an eating disorder and that's all that the ed brain wants to do is make you feel like you're not small enough, never going to get better, never going to be anything, you don't deserve to eat, or you can eat now and then not eat later. Like all of these thoughts, they come out of our minds through our words. And you guys, we're always listening to our words. So if you've been speaking badly about yourself, it's okay. I want you to write down those negative words, and then I want you to alter it and change it to a positive state. How can you express kindness? How can you go from that bad apple language to the good apple language? And again, not thinking like black and white thinking here. I know I just did one of our last episodes on black and white thinking. So I'm not referring to that today with the good versus the bad. But how can we meet ourselves in the middle to where we start truly hearing and believing our own affirmations of how we feel about ourselves? Because friend, if you spoke positive words over your life, it might not be immediate and you might not see immediate change, but it's really hard to hate yourself and hate your body and hate your identity of who you are and believe a false identity when you're speaking positive things. Because if you stand in front of a mirror and you pick yourself apart, of course you're going to feel like crap, right? A lot of us do that, myself included. But if you can stand in front of a mirror and pick two things that are positive that you love, I don't care what those are, and you repeat that over and over with time, you will no longer feel like that rotten apple. You will no longer feel like you have been. So I want you to pay attention to your words, proof really is in that Big Apple experiment. I really challenge you to apply this week. Take some time, sit with yourself, write down those negative words that you say, and then alter those words to a positive state, because words have so much power. They truly can make or break you. They truly can heal you. They can energize you, and you deserve that. So if you're tired of living the way you have been and you just want peace, then I'm going to ask you today, what peace are you speaking over your life? If you're feeling heavy, maybe your words are heavy. All right, so I'm going to end on a positive note today, and I'm going to share a couple of positive things that you can say and speak over yourself. Okay, and what I do personally, I have like a sticky note that I put on my desk, and I look at it every single day, and it's just 4 different things that really help me to start my day off right. So I say, I have unlimited potential. I am able. I am worthy. I am serving. And then if you want to go even deeper, you can pull things out. Also, a couple of scriptures in the Psalms. No matter what, I'm wonderfully made. No matter what. No matter what, I am held. No matter what, I am chosen. No matter what, I am seen. No matter what, I am heard. No matter what, I'm victorious. And my favorite, no matter what, I am free. Friend, you can be free too. You already have the power and the truth, your real truth, that lives inside of your heart. You're just jaded and clouded from all of these false things that over time you've been believing are true. The one thing I know today, if anything, it's this. Most people spend their entire life arguing with themselves and limiting their own potential because of the words that they choose to use in their lives. I don't want that for you. I don't want that for me, and I don't want that for anyone. So if you're not at peace with your life, and you're not at peace with your body, and you're not at peace with your food, and you're not at peace with your journey, then today I want you to shift your perspective. I want you to shift your words. You can make a commitment to quit that negative self-talk. You can ask yourself questions like, would I speak to my spouse this way? Would I speak to my kids this way? Would I speak to my best friend this way? And if not, then why am I speaking to myself this way? You can decide to stop doing that. And so I just ask that if this message has truly impacted your life today, try this for 24 hours. Start speaking and really being aware of what you're saying and speaking out into the world. Try this for 24 hours. Try this and see if it changes the next 24 hours. And then I want you to report back to me. You can do that by sending me an email at info@lindsaynickel.com. I hope that you have such a great day, a beautiful day, a day full of all the joy that you deserve, free from disordered eating behaviors, free from being trapped. Because no matter what, you are free. You are free indeed. And your words have the power to make it so. Until next time, sweet friend. Oh, friend, thank you so much for letting me share what was on my heart today. My hope for this podcast is to help more women find freedom from food and body. If this has empowered or blessed you, let me know. I'd be honored for your rating and review of my show, and I'd love to connect with you in my private Facebook community. You really can move from perfection to purpose. Let's break the chains together. I'll help navigate the way. Until next time, bye for now, girl.